This is Don't Panic, episode number 334, recorded March 14th, 2022. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and of course you. I'm Sean Jennings, joined by two Max chips who, when put together, make an Ultra chip. It's Dan Miller and Colby Rabidou. Good evening, gentlemen.
Nice.
Hello.
Thanks, Sean.
What's good, my pals?
I tried to buy skis. So, Colby, have you ever bought skis before?
Once. I think technically I still own a pair of skis. And they're like at my parents'.
I was going to say, you don't sound very confident.
Well, I haven't seen them in many years. I have no reason to believe they're not in Rhode Island.
So if you're a fancy little duchess, one way you can buy skis is by demoing. It's called demoing, where you rent brand new skis or nearly brand new skis that are more expensive than normal rentals. But typically the catch is you can then apply the cost of all of your demo rentals against the cost of the pair of skis, so long as you buy them from the place you're renting from. Which is a good deal because then you can try them all out and see what you like. And it turns out I am just barely good enough to be able to detect some differences. So we rented 3 simultaneously, and then we tried them all out, and then we drove back, and we were like, oh, I like these 2, but I think I slightly like this one better than this one. And the person downstairs was like, well, that's great. Hey, just head on upstairs and tell them that you rented 3 skis. They can look it up on the computer, and anytime you want to buy a ski, they'll apply the credit. I was like, great. I'm going to do that right now because we want to go skiing next weekend. So I immediately headed upstairs and said, hey, I want these skis. And they're like, oh, well, we don't have those skis. Oh, well, then, okay. How about these other skis? I didn't like them as much, but, and they're like, no, we don't have those either. And we went back downstairs and told the guys, like, yeah, I don't know why they let me demo skis that we don't have. But apparently, like, the way that skis work is, they're probably going to start manufacturing next year's skis pretty soon, and then they make however they make. They ship them to whoever they ship them to. I have no idea how that's decided. It sounds a lot like a wine. And then that's it. And then they're done. You can't, go to the ski company and be like, oh, can I place another order for, 1,000 more skis? Like, no, there are no more skis. Especially this year, and blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, well, can we just buy the skis that you're renting out? And they're like, no, because there's so few skis that we want to rent them out more. So I never got a pair of skis. Oh, and then he was like, well, you should try these skis. I'll give them to you for free to demo next weekend. I was like, well, that's nice. But then just for fun, we went upstairs and we were like, how about these skis? We haven't even tried yet. And you're like, we don't have those either. Well, okay. But at least I got a free rental out of it.
Wow.
And they will let us apply the credit next year or in the fall. So hope is not lost.
Well, I think you've learned a really valuable lesson that we've talked about many times on the show, which is the subscription model always wins. You don't own anything, you just borrow it for a monthly fee.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I did last year. You can borrow them for a yearly fee, and it's pretty cheap. It's like $300, maybe even less. I think it was less than that. You go skiing 30 times, which is what we did last year. It's a pretty good deal. Even if you go skiing 10 times, that's $30 a day. That's usually they're like $40, $50 a day. So man, maybe I should just always do that.
It's not a bad idea.
But then in a couple years, then you might as well have bought skis. That's
right.
Is
it's
how
a
they
long
get you.
term.
Catches up with you.
Yeah, it's rent money not going towards a mortgage. Same idea. You're not owning anything at the end of the day.
Except, skis don't appreciate in value ever, unlike houses, which only sometimes appreciate in value.
So. I was about to say sometimes. Maybe a car might be a better parallel. Although, as I'm learning in the car business, this is the weird time where cars actually are going up in value. So one of those funny things. No, that's one thing about skiing, Dan. I just baffles me is the financial investment. It's like golf.
Oh, yeah.
In that respect, where it's like, I'm not going to judge anybody who does it, but it's numbers rolling into my head. I'm like, this is not like a sometimes this is not like a on a whim hobby. Like, there's work that goes into it.
Oh, yeah. I wish there was less work. And yeah, you need lots of equipment to stay warm. Sadly.
It is cold.
Now, Colby, what do you think? I think we should help Dan out here, because it sounds to me, and I'm very bad at reading people, sounds to me like Dan's bored with skiing. It's a hassle, it's expensive. I think we got to find Dan a new sports hobby.
Sports hobby.
So, what do you think, Dan? And again, he's not going to join the NBA. No offense, Dan. I'm sure he'd be a great power forward. But what do we think Dan should be doing next with his athleisure dollars?
Free solo.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe a little advanced, admittedly, but we can work up to that.
I mean, I don't know if the goal is to not have a hobby that has so much equipment and overhead. You know,
that's true.
Just go right for you. Find a big rock, scoot on up there.
Dan, how are your fingers and toes?
Supple.
Oh no, that was the wrong word.
Soft as a baby's bottom, I'm told.
See, I was thinking we could get Dan to do scuba diving, but
I've done scuba diving.
No, but not because you're Dan. You're not any guy. You're Dan goddamn Miller. So you got to get the where it's the big metal helmet connected by the hose, like the old timey diving suits that can bubble up and inflate. That
vintage
are pressurized.
Scuba diving.
And so you kind of walk on the bottom real slowly.
Yeah, like the vintage car people, but for scuba diving.
Yeah, what are those called?
I don't know.
Vintage car people for scuba diving?
I know that they have a name. Well, they're diving helmets, I guess. Yeah, okay, it's just a diving helmet. I thought it had a much cooler name, but apparently it doesn't.
It was a diving bell. Is that what you're thinking of? Back before that, when they just put a bell over their entire body and walked into the ocean?
You could do that. Bring that back. What the hell's Dan doing with that giant bell? My God, he's walking to the ocean.
Can you get the bends?
Yeah, I think there's some good options out there for you. But that's exciting. So what are you going to do? What's your summer activity? Obviously, you can't ski year round, or at least not without some aggressive travel.
We have actually that is something we've been doing. We hopefully not. What is the adjective for when you're exhibiting hubris? You're doing something X.
Hubristical.
Hubristical. Hopefully this isn't hubristical, but we planned a whole mess of summer activities recently.
Damn.
So we're going camping, we're going hiking, and we were going to go to Alaska. Oh, right. So that was the real... We were like, we're in Seattle. You know it's close. And in the United States is Alaska. Let's go. It turns out it's not actually that close. You could technically drive to Alaska. It would take like days because there's no highway. It's like you take the highway like a little bit north of Vancouver and it's all back roads all the way up that little spindly part. So you have to fly, and flights are pretty cheap. How much do you think renting a car in what's the city called? The capital of Alaska. Anchorage in August would be per day?
$360.
$300. Yes.
All right. I'm not surprised.
We were going to go for like the full week, the 10 days, $3,000 plus tax. You could
just buy a new car.
You could fly instantly to Australia for round trip for that money, easy, wow. and have some left over. So we canceled the Alaska plans, and we're just going to do a bunch of stuff. We're going to try to do all the hikes.
Well, you know what I've always wanted to do? Ride the rails.
Yeah.
ride the train up, which I know you can do because I've looked into it. You ride the train up, then just ride the train all around Alaska, and you can get off the train at the places you're going to, so you don't have to like get a car once you get there.
That's not a bad idea.
And it's less than $3,000.
Then there are like tour buses and stuff that you could take at Denali and all those places.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right. Amtrak vacations. The Amtrak will actually do a package deal for you. They'll book hotels.
Colby's been on an Amtrak vacation.
That's true. Does Amtrak go to Alaska?
I don't think you can take an Amtrak from Seattle to Alaska.
Is there Amtrak in Alaska?
But there are trains in Alaska that take you to, actually, shockingly, that take you to the major areas, and are supposedly really beautiful.
And Amtrak will book you vacations across Canada.
There you go.
Most popular, Alaska.
Oh, yeah, the Alaska Railroad. Remember from Roderick on the Line? It's its own thing, Colby.
I guess I do. I didn't... Alaska...
Oh, yeah, here we go. You can go from Seattle to Vancouver, make a bunch of stops along the way, and end up in Skagway, in Vancouver, up to Anchorage.
The Couve. The world famous.
Oh, and you can do it with a cruise, Dan. It's the Alaska Rail and Sail.
Wow.
18 days. You get on a boat in Vancouver and take the boat up to Alaska.
Oh, here's another crazy thing that made me a little bit less enthusiastic about Alaska. In Denali National Park, there's this, as in many national parks, there's a road that you use to traverse the park. But this road is mostly closed because of a landslide. And you think, oh, okay. But it's been closed for like a year and a half because it's not a landslide onto the road. It's a landslide underneath the road. And there's this time-lapse photo of, like, not that long, just, like, over the course of the summer, and you see the road, like, just sinking down the mountainside.
Oh.
And so they don't know how to fix that. And so you can't get to most of Denali right now, at least not in a vehicle. Maybe on a horse. That'd be cool.
Strap yourself to a drone.
Like 4 drones. One on each limb.
Still cheaper than a rental car.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened at the Cliff Walk in Newport. There was a big chunk of the Cliff Walk just fell into the sea. And they were surprised because it wasn't the part that they were worried about falling into the sea. There might be a lesson there. I don't know.
It's not about walking on cliffs.
Right.
What's new with you, Colby? What's going on in Colby's world?
I got a work computer. I got a work computer that is
a Hewlett Packard.
And yeah, no,
a gateway.
No, it's an
e-machines.
Imagine. No, it's a new Mac. It has the thing. It's so fast. It has a battery. I've never heard the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, is it the new one? No touch bar, extra ports?
Yeah.
Nice. You got a lot of stuff plugged into that bad boy?
Well, no, because I already configured my whole life to accommodate the old.
They're just sitting there sad and abandoned.
Right. I'm a one plug boy, so I just I use my one plug. I haven't even used the MagSafe charger.
Damn.
Yeah, I just keep the MagSafe charger in my backpack now.
That's a good idea.
I've gone to like 2 places now in 2022, so I've actually used it.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, I got to try it just for kicks. I said I'm going to have to try it just for kicks.
Yeah,
Colby, are you still
your computer off your desk?
Are you still Thunderbolt displaying?
Well, for now.
Okay. All right. I was just curious, just envisaging your setup.
I still have the Thunderbolt display. I did put it up on like an arm, like a monitor arm, but and then I have that box thing, the CalDigit box that works really well, and all the gunk's plugged into that.
How did you find putting the Thunderbolt display on an arm?
Oh, it was a whole thing. Because you have to have you tried to do this before?
I've done this, yeah.
So there's the Thunderbolt display has a Mac, what are those called? Mac desktop. iMac?
Visa mount? iMac stand?
Well, I mean, the Thunderbolt display has one of the all-in-one-esque stands built into it. And so to get it off, you have to slide a credit card into the slot in just the right way to unhook some unseeable dingus, and then there are 12 tiny screws, and then you unscrew all the screws, and then you attach your Vesa mount to that, which was great. But the really interesting part is it's so heavy. It's 20 pounds, the Thunderbolt display. And that is the actual, the upper bound of the monitor stand I got. And it didn't work. I had to tighten all the screws extra. And it's stuck now. I think I broke it by tightening the screws too much. It does keep my monitor up, but it does not. It is not adjustable any longer, which is fine because I don't really need to adjust it. But maybe I did look at the new ones, and the new ones are half the weight.
Wow.
They're 10 pounds instead of 20. It's crazy.
That's surprising. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what's in mine. Just a bunch of
extra weight. 20 pounds is a lot for them. I'm sorry. That's all. I don't think my 55-inch on the wall in the living room weighs that much.
I don't know what's in there. Whatever it is keeps it working for, as far as I can tell, indefinitely.
It's going to outlive us all.
Probably. I've had great luck with screens. My TV and my monitor.
That's true.
2014. Maybe 2014 was just a good year for screens.
Hey, let's see if you can hit that 10-year mark. It's coming up.
Right. A nice vintage.
2011 was when the Thunderbolt display came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yep.
I put a picture in the Slack of my new desk arrangement where I show all the fancy technology I have, holding up my monitors, including a stack of books and an empty cardboard box.
Nice.
So I've really gone cheap. Unfortunately, and what's great is you can see in the picture to the left of my monitor that black thing sticking out. That is a wall mount for a monitor, and the problem is my monitor says it accepts standard Vesa mounts, except for the one I already have on the wall.
Oh man!
So it doesn't. The screw holes do not line up, and it does not fit. So.
Now, what kind of light is that, Sean?
Well, gee whiz, Dan, I'm glad you asked. It's essentially like a work light. I literally went to Harbor Freight and got these clip-on, where they have these steel rims around them with just a Hue light bulb screwed into them. They're nothing fancy. That I got 1, 2, 3 of them just kind of clipped onto various things to make me look beautiful, or just really tired. They make the shadow under my eyes look huge.
Do you use the hue color changingness? Is there a recording preset you have where you like the way the colors are set up?
No, these are just the white ones, so I just do it by their brightness adjusted per light, but I don't do anything fancy color wise. I've never owned a color changing light bulb. I never saw a good use.
I agree.
Oh my God! Look at I'm sorry. Look at how nice Colby's desk looks. Come on, man. You can't do that to me.
Mine does not look as good.
I did. Before I took the picture, I threw some crap on the floor.
I'm not going to do any of that.
This is like when you go on Kickstarter and they're like selling some new desk tchotchke, and like this is the ultra clean modern desk they show you that they put it on.
Yep, that's me.
We have 2 or maybe it's 4 Hue light bulbs that do the color thing, and I decided to put them all outside. So we have the front light bulb and we have like 2 outside light bulbs. And I figure then you can do fun seasonal color things with it, and at least people would see.
Yeah.
That's the only use case I've found.
Yeah, I think, I have been interested in, like, the smart light strips, or, like, some of the other formats of it, but I think just a straight light bulb with color is kind of tough, because you can't really do some strong event lighting. Oh, look, even Dan's got a cooler desk than I do. I'm going to post these on our Facebook and Twitter pages, and we'll have a poll. Because this is, I'm really, you guys are bumming me out.
I also like the inceptioning with the screenshots here.
That is too, and I love it. Is that your wallpaper, or did that come with the place?
That came with the house, yeah.
Very nice. And you got to turn the desk around and have that as your backdrop.
Then my desk would be occluding the entire closet behind me, so...
Fair enough.
I can do this with my desk, though. That's, it's not obvious in the photo. My desk
that noise is... Yeah,
keep
going. We don't want to see it. Just keep going. No, the noise it makes is excellent.
Now,
do it from down here.
Uh-oh, it's stuck. Jump, Dan.
Now we need is an adjustable height Dan, and we'll be good to go.
Now, Dan, I notice you have the, like, clamped to your desk plug and stuff. I got one of those, too, and the plugs work, but the USB ports just don't work at all. Do yours work?
They only provide power.
Yeah, no, I mean mine don't provide power, which I think means they don't do anything. They're just empty holes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this came with the desk that Lena got at her old company's moving sale.
Nice.
So I don't even know what kind of desk it is. It's very heavy.
I believe it. Nice.
Speaking of things that are heavy or not heavy, don't we have an Apple event to run through very quickly in chronological order?
Oh, I think it's time for some peak performance. Brought to you by Dan Miller. Dan, we have got Apple's event from last week. Always a day late and $1 short here on Don't Panic, but better late than ever. We're going to talk about some of the things they announced at this event in no particular order. Let's start from the least interesting to the most interesting. Good news, iPhone 13 and 13 Pro now come in green. An alpine green, as they describe it. That's the only.
So I'm thinking of getting off the Apple upgrade program train because the phones year to year are just getting less interesting, and I think next year I might just not get whatever comes out because I do like their fun colors that they release mid-year. I just always already have a phone, so next year I might just wait until the mid-year color release.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, color is a decent reason to upgrade your phone, I would argue. I mean, it is, not to say a fashion piece, but I had red, I now have blue. I love the green, so I could absolutely see that.
I had the green one when they had the green available before, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, I have the baby blue one. Now you can see it. I used to use the Apple leather case until literally today, but it got warped, I think, because of getting wet. I don't know if you can see that corner. So don't get a leather case if you go skiing, I guess.
I've been going caseless with just a pop socket.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Living life on the edge.
I have so many. So many questions. So you took a pop socket and you directly attach it to the back of your iPhone?
It's like a MagSafe.
Oh, it's a MagSafe pop socket. Wow.
Now, is it a wallet too, or is it just the pop socket?
It is a wallet too.
Wow.
Has some.
You got enough room in your pockets for all that hardware?
Not really. So the problem I was having, like, I got the new phone, and it's like a little too heavy, and it hurts my hands. Like, as soon as I got this phone, I started having like weird finger pains. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll get this pop socket. I'll try like a pop socket thing. And then I was looking at the wallet. I was like, that seems kind of convenient. And so I got that, and it kind of helps, but it also made the phone even heavier. So I found if I removed the case, it felt more appropriate. Like the weight was more appropriate.
And this is the Pro?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also might go non-Pro next time.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit lighter.
But do you have the Big Boy Pro or the regular Pro?
That's the regular Pro,
yeah. Okay. So then you won't miss the size.
No.
Right.
Well, we'll have at least one more color option. Moving on, Apple TV Plus announces Friday Night Baseball. Get excited. They'll have exclusive streaming rights to Friday night games during the regular season, and in the U.S. and Canada, there's also a new 24/7 MLB live stream with replays, news, highlights, and analysis, plus on-demand highlights and a new MLB Big Inning live show.
Is now a good time to get into baseball?
Dan, I don't think there could literally have been a worse time to get into baseball. Baseball interest in America is at a record low. But the good news is if you get now and it becomes popular again, you could say you were there when nobody was interested.
Right. You got to scoop up all those NFTs.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yep. Pick a bad franchise, get in early. When they win the World Series, you can say, I've been a fan the whole time. No, there's nothing interesting to talk about with baseball, I assure you. Updated iPad Air. Mostly internal updates, an 8-core M1 chip, just like the iPad Pro, 5G on cellular-equipped models, and a 12-megapixel front-facing camera. The prices will remain the same. And now the USB-C port is twice as fast, but I don't know if anyone's going to actually notice that.
Weird.
Okay. Stop me if you have any comments. The new iPhone SE. The cheap phone is back, and this time it's less cheap. The iPhone SE is back. It keeps that same small form factor and the 4.7-inch screen as the previous SE. Chunky bezels, the whole 9 yards. It still has the Touch ID home button. And all of those things, but the real upgrade, same camera, although they say because of the processor, it's going to look a little bit better. The big thing is the upgraded A15 chipset for better background, better processing, and all of those things. And it gains 5G. But interestingly enough, not ultra-wideband 5G. Very curious. Just your standard sub-6 gigahertz 5G. And it will be priced at $429 for the base 64-gigabyte model.
It's a good deal.
It bums me out. I see people, like my company by default, if you have a company phone by default, they buy you the SE. And like you have to fight them to get anything better. And I have coworkers who use it, and just looking at it, it just, like, it makes me sad.
You're just looking at it, and it's not unlocking, and you're like, what's happening?
Well, it's got a home button. A home button. It's wild. The screen doesn't go the whole way.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They should have a discount phone, a cheaper model. There's no shame in that. But I just wish they would do a less of a gap, I suppose. But a worthy upgrade. Someone will buy it. All right, let's get into some of the computing stuff. Starting with the new chip, then we'll get into the new computer and the new monitor. Guys, you had M1, and you had M1 Pro, and you had M1 Max. But ladies and gentlemen, Apple went further, introducing the M1 Ultra two M1 Maxes essentially duct taped together. And it is fast and has a bazillion cores, is the simplest way I can put it. But really, they use Apple's Ultra Fusion architecture to combine two separate M1 Max chip, thanks to the 2.5 terabyte per second interprocessor connection. You're essentially doubling, at this point, it's 20 CPU cores, 64 GPU cores, a 32-core neural engine, and up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. They say it'll get 8 times the performance of the standard M1.
That's
it
crazy.
also uses, they say it has better CPU performance than a 16-core PC desktop while using 100 watts less power.
I read something today talking about how it's actually way more impressive than it sounds that they duct taped, quote unquote, duct taped these two processors
Please
together,
don't quote
because that is established. People do that all the time for CPUs, but it's much more difficult to do it for graphics cards. I don't know why, but this article was saying that. So the fact that this works is actually kind of novel.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
I can remember back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, probably, with NVIDIA SLI, where you could take two NVIDIA graphics cards and duct tape them together, but it didn't provide 2 times as much graphics power, and you needed to write special, the games need to have special software to support it. And so I think is the difference here is it doesn't show up as 2 graphics cards. You don't think about it any differently. It just somehow the system makes it all work together.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy that they didn't make one chip twice as big. You know what I mean? I mean, there is something interesting to the idea.
Yeah. I was reading that there's limits. You can't just keep doubling stuff forever. Something. This is how I imagine it must feel for you when we talk about normal computer software stuff, Sean. With this hardware stuff, I have absolutely no idea.
And it just kind of sounds like somewhere between magic and made-up nonsense.
Yeah, something about nanometers. There's 5 nanometers. There's 3 nanometers. Something transistors. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't understand it. Really, the only question I have is, we had the M1, then the M1 Pro, then the M1 Max, and the M1 Ultra. What's the next one after that? What superlative can they possibly add after Ultra? The M1
Ultimate?
Oh, that's really good. But it's close to Ultra.
Yeah, that's true.
Platinum.
Diamond Jubilee.
Infinite.
Ooh.
M1 Infinite.
Let's go to Alienware. What does Alienware use? Alienware.com.
Technology. Which, by the way, while you're looking
our
at
newest X Series laptop.
I will tell you that this really happened to me at work, where we have a tool that we manufacture, and we were working on some kind of features we wanted to highlight on it. And I literally sat there and I said, the way it works is it doesn't jam when you put the screw through it. That's the technology. But we don't have a name other than no jams. And I said, oh, well, it's Smooth Advancement Technology. And they're like, oh, Sean, where did someone where? And I go, no, I just made it up. And so we're just using it. It doesn't mean anything. There's literally no Smooth Advancement Technology. It's just a name we made up, and it's now on the box.
Sounds cool.
So
yeah,
nice. It's just it turns out you can just make shit up like that.
Do you get a bonus for that, for coming up with Smooth Advancement Technology?
I actually did come up with the name for an upcoming product that's going to be rolling out, and I got a free lunch out of it. So that was pretty cool. So when I go into Home Depot and see the box on the shelf with my name on it, I can say I got a free lunch for that.
Wow.
M1 without limits.
Yes. I love that. Or M1 Supernova. It's really just...
What are other gaming brands besides Alienware?
Razer.
Razer, thank you. That's what I was trying to
you know me, I know all the gaming brands.
Razer. How did the scooter company and that other company sort that one out.
Hey, as long as the video game company don't make scooters and the scooter company don't make gaming accessories, you'd be surprised how that works.
All right. Let's see. Oh, their website's terrible. Oh, wow. Okay, all right, there we go. Ultimate performance. That's not good enough. That's not enough.
Mind melting.
Mind melting. High performance.
Reality shattering.
Explore a complete arsenal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Arsenal.
Gotta use that word, yeah.
That's a good one.
It would be fun to do like a word cloud of some of these websites. Because they use the word ultimate a lot. Like now that I'm really looking at what they're saying, pushing the limits, powerful, performance, surpass everything in its class.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
In its class.
Game changing? Is that
Game
on there?
changing. That's a classic. It's a little on the nose, but ultra efficient vapor chamber cooling.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sweet
So
clouds.
I'm thinking if we had to make up a fake technology for this podcast, like don't panic now with blank. What's our secret made up advantage? With like Best Friends 4.0 or like
Now
like
with
Pal Talk technology?
now with Colby juice? I don't know.
Oh, earth-shattering Colbys? Colbys without limits? I like that.
Now with two Colbys, we just mirror his video and everything is said twice.
I like we cutting Colby from an old episode. I like that.
Right. Now with advanced
2 times the
cloning
Colby.
technology.
That's right. We've interconnected 2 Colby chips together to create Colby Ultra.
Just tied their belts together.
We handcuffed them together. They didn't have a choice.
The most Colby in its class.
Yes. Twice as much Colby as compared to the 2013 model. With those exponential charts. I love that.
But uses 10% less power.
That's right. Drinks
Very energy
12% less
efficient.
cocktails than the previous Colby.
All right, let's keep scooching here. M1
Yeah.
Ultra.
Well, yeah.
Continuing
Listen,
in the tradition of Apple introducing chips before they talk about what products they're in.
yeah, Dan, you're going to want to. What are you going to do? Use it as a coaster? No, you want to use your M1 Ultra.
Yeah.
How are you going to do it in the new Mac Studio? It's like the Mac Mini, but chunkier. It's a desktop system that contains Apple's M1 Ultra or the M1 Max. You can take your choice. But it's got a few other interesting features. The Cube is 3.7 inches tall. It includes 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, as well as a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI, and an audio jack. On the front, it'll have 2 USB-C ports and an SD card slot. It'll support Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0. It can also support up to 4 Pro Display XDRs and a 4K TV, Apple says. If you buy the one with M Max, it will have 50% faster performance than a current Mac Pro with a 16-core Xeon processor. The M1 is reportedly 3.8 times faster than the 27-inch iMac that's available on the market today. Let's see. We'll talk about the screen in a second. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. It's going to start with M1 Max at $1,999, and the Ultra will start at $3,999. I believe if you max it out, you're up into the $8,000 range.
Maxed out.
And on a similar note, the 27-inch iMac has been discontinued in favor of this.
Pour one out.
May it rest in peace. So what do you guys think of the big silver box?
It's cool. I'm glad it exists. It is kind of the Mac mid tower that everyone wanted in like 2005.
Yeah.
That's the 21st century version, or the 2020 version.
Seems cool.
I wish it came in colors.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The thing I've always imagined that in a world where I don't have to go anywhere, which honestly has been the last couple of years, so maybe I would never actually do this, that I would get an iMac and that would be my computer. But now, because it used to be the iMacs were better computers than the laptops at doing the computer stuff.
Right.
But now they're not better computers than the laptops, and the laptop is a laptop. So I don't see myself ever getting something like this, but I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
Wow, the Mac Studio is 10 to 12 weeks delayed at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very popular. I mean, the pro audience, I think, is really wanted to get into the M1 market.
Oh, that's only if you max it out. If you don't do that, it ships in May. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the first time M1, once you get to the ultra level, is getting into the hands of the heavy pro audience. You're right, Dan, and previously in the laptops, but this combines a permanent desktop solution with all the ports. And we'll talk about the monitor in a second, but it's certainly the most compelling package they've had for the pro audience. I think I would argue almost sets the Mac tower back in the day, the Tower of Power. This is, I think, a pretty compelling option. But no, your average person would never get anywhere near this thing.
Yep.
It's true.
However, you can't just buy a little silver cube and put it on your desk. You got to have something to look at, which is why they also announced right alongside it the 27-inch 5K Studio display.
Finally.
It's been too goddamn long. It's
it has been 11 years.
It's been pretty wild. It's pretty exciting. 27 inches, 600 nits of brightness, 5K, P3 wide color, and macOS's True Tone feature. It doesn't have 120 hertz refresh rate. It only has the traditional 60 hertz, so that's one thing you're going to want to watch out for. On the back, there are 3 USB-C ports and a single Thunderbolt 3 port. That Thunderbolt 3 port will provide 96 watts of pass-through charging. That's enough to power up all of your Apple devices, including laptops, which is pretty interesting. It also has a powerful 6-speaker system, and there's an A13 chip in the monitor that enables software features like Center Stage, which is where the camera pans around while you move, spatial audio, and Hey Siri voice commands through the built-in mic array. Now, you may remember the Pro Display XDR was introduced with a starting price tag of $5,000. The good news for you, they've given you a nice discount. This one actually starts at $1,599, though it will be more expensive as you add various glass options. You can have the nano texture glass for a couple $100 more, as well as what stands you choose, including the tilt adjustable and height adjustable stands.
Yeah.
So my question for you guys is, Colby, how fast did you order one of these? Come on, tell me you bought one of these bad boys.
No, I didn't buy one yet because I have to pay my taxes soon. It was not
terrible, man. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam was not kind this year to old Colby.
Tell him, say, I need the money for a fancy monitor. Damn it, it's better than paying for roads and bridges.
Right. Right. This is my infrastructure. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, where's Colby's infrastructure bill? Damn it!
Right.
It's infrastructure week.
Right.
That's right.
But I'm fully planning on doing that once all that jazz is settled down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I bought one on the toilet right after the
on the toilet.
Yes. Yeah, it's the best place to do all your shopping.
Yeah, that's right. When you're near, in the ideal state of mind.
Did you get the nano texture glass?
I did, because to my left is a giant window that in the afternoon means I can't see anything in here.
Yeah.
Now, I could solve that problem by putting a curtain up, but then I would have to, there is no hardware, so I would have to do all that. Blah, blah. So I did get the nanotexture glass. I haven't had a matte display ever, I don't think. It used to be, you used to be able to order MacBook Pros with matte display. I always thought that looked so cool.
I remember that.
When was the last time we were able to do that? 2011? 2010?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get that too when the time is right. When the time is right. I'm excited though.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw away my webcam.
Yes. This stupid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet the camera's going to look crazy good.
I hope so.
Not just, but with the processing power in it. Like that, what an interesting, if you've got a zillion chips in your Apple, put one in the monitor. It's a really cool idea.
Right. How many
makes
slots
sense.
does it have? Oh, it has 4 ports. 1 Thunderbolt and 3 USB-C.
Yeah, my only complaint is it doesn't have an Ethernet port.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I already do have a dongle. But then I'll have this dongle hanging off the back of the thing. I don't want a dongle hanging off the back of my thing.
Dongles. Yeah, I feel like I have the dock thing no matter what, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. I just think it's no matter how many ports they put in these things, dongles and hubs aren't going anywhere. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
not yet.
No, sir. Man, I can't wait for the review of that bad boy.
Stay tuned.
It's nice. It's nice.
At
I'm
the end of the
excited for
month,
you
I should be
guys.
able to review it.
Nice.
This is why I let you guys take the fancy stuff. I'm looking at. They rolled out the black Magic Mouse and Magic Trackpad. Which looked
right.
dope.
With
So-
the silver background.
Uh-huh. Now, of course, the Magic Mouse, you still charge on the bottom. Can't believe they haven't fixed that. But
Sick.
it looks really good. So,
Oh, I forgot they have keyboards with Touch ID now.
yeah.
That's
You're going to have an
something.
M1. Oh, no, but you have an M1 computer. So, yeah.
I could get into that. Wow.
Just go to the Apple Store and open a tab, I just put on Colby's tab.
Right, they'll do that.
He's buying out the shop.
But yeah.
That's awesome. You know what I did? Actually, I should make this my pick, but you know what I did the other day? I treated myself to a $7 purchase at the Apple Store. You know what I bought?
Oh, the polishing cloth?
Actually, the polishing cloth is twice as expensive as that, so no, that's a good guess, but no. I bought new rubber tips for my AirPods.
Oh.
They had gotten unpleasant, and I genuinely do try to keep them clean, but I wear them constantly, and they got a little ear greasy, and so for $7 they'll just send you a set of 4 of them. So
Is
I
that the
recommend
cheapest thing you can get at the Apple Store now?
and it shipped for free, which was pretty cool. So
Wow.
that's actually a really good question. I don't know, but it was a good investment because the new ones are very white, especially when you put them next to the old ones.
Nice.
So yeah, that's everything Apple announced for now.
Well, they also announced that they're not finished announcing things.
That's
They made
true.
a rare pre-announcement of the Mac Pro. So there will be a Mac Pro, and they haven't announced it yet.
It's going to come with 3,000 cores. So many cores. No, and that, we have WWDC coming up, so we'll be getting some software updates too by the time June rolls around. So
Yeah.
a lot of exciting stuff happening for maybe some updated laptops. The rumors is around WWDC. So who knows?
Very cool.
It's an exciting time. I was going to put in Microsoft's big announcement too. I didn't think we'd have time to get to it. Their big Windows announcement. I don't know
Wait,
if you
what
guys
is
saw
that?
it. The new
No.
Windows announcement? Oh, Dan, this is huge. Windows 11 tabs in File Explorer.
Oh, I did see that.
Boom! Boom! Yes, I'm surprised I didn't have a big keynote for that.
My 5-year-old desktop Windows computer told me recently I can't use Windows 11. So, isn't that crazy? Like, yeah, I know really we talked about it on the show, but like, this is a pretty new computer.
Yeah, the good news is they're not rushing anybody off Windows 10. So
apparently not. Yeah,
that's your upside. No, I've used Windows 11. It's very the same as Windows 10. Like, I don't know of any notable other than tabs in. Honestly, that would be the only thing to get me to upgrade. That's the one Mac feature that was a slam dunk for me was tabs in Finder.
Oh, I never use it. What do you use it for?
I move files all the time.
But you move them using tabs? You don't just like use a new window?
No, because then and maybe we have different. Are you guys the people who just leave everything open in the background?
No, of course not. I'm not an animal.
Because I know people who do that. I hate having windows open.
I think I do that.
So the more I close, the better. So that's why I like tabs, because I have one Finder window with a bunch of tabs. I also don't have my Mac at work has no monitors. It's only the 16-inch Mac display. So I don't have a ton of space to bounce stuff around. That's the other thing.
Gotcha. Maybe I should try tabs. I honestly don't even know how to open a tab.
Right click, open a new tab.
Open a new
any
tab.
folder. Right click, open a new tab.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Can you drag stuff between tabs? Oh.
You bet your ass you can.
It didn't flash, but it worked.
Yeah. It's no, I do like the tabs a lot.
I discovered recently, like, I always use the columns view in Finder.
Yep.
But I discovered that if you change the view in a file, like, that file always stays that view.
That folder, you mean?
Yeah. And almost always I want the columns view, but occasionally I want a folder that is like in the list view and sorted by like recently added. Like I did that with my downloads folder and it changed my life. I used to spend so much time like scrolling through my downloads folder trying to find the thing I just downloaded. Crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot with Finder that sounds small, but I don't miss it when I go back to Windows.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the rundown sheet here, and I see I'm the only one with a pick. Is that an accurate fact this week? We can zip by picks. We don't have to stop.
Zip by.
I don't have anything.
Nothing is coming to mind for me.
That's okay.
I was hoping I could think of something while the two of you did yours.
No, that's never. It's the same thing with the person at the restaurant when the waiter comes over. I need a minute. You take their orders first. It takes like 3 seconds, and then they're back to you.
Damn it!
Don't worry about it. You're okay. No, I actually have a question I do want to ask you guys in this time. I'll move my pick to next week. Two things. One, I saw somebody online. I don't know if you saw this. It was going around some of the tech blogs. Somebody took one of the old G4 Macs, which was the one with kind of like the half circle base with the little metal arm and the screen on it, and put an M1 Mac inside of it. And I was like, that was so cool. And I was thinking, I was going to ask you guys, if you could take any old piece of computer technology and put current hardware inside of it, what is there anything that comes to mind as something you'd be like, I would love to have blank, but with the power of, M1 or whatever the modern thing is?
I think at my grandma's house in the attic, there's one of the original like home Mac, the like tall box one with the screen that's this big and the keyboard, and the big floppy disk slot. That's the one I would do. Be crazy.
GameCube, easy.
The cube.
Oh yeah,
Good little handle.
No Nice.
That's so cool. I like that idea a lot. Because I was really thinking like computers, where I'm like, yeah, I guess you could put it in anything. That's pretty sweet.
But for like pure challenge factor, I think putting it in like a Game Boy Color would be.
Oh well, yeah.
That would be.
That would be a challenge. I think I would go with the iBook, the G3, the clamshell, which was like the plastic colorful, but the laptop, in like the bright blue, in that teal blue. I think would be awesome. I would love to carry
bring
that
back see-through computers.
I want the plastics. I want the bright colors. I want that 90s, like late 90s aesthetic.
It's the dream.
That was great. They went too far in the middle. That's why I do look at the Mac Studio and I'm like, it's so boring. Like, make it light up or something. Like, it's just a snoozer. My other question for you guys, and then we actually will wrap it up, is I have a thought for the show, but you guys can say no in our effort to generate content. Recently, they have put out really 2, but I'm going to say 3 tech-related mini-series loosely based on reality, and that is the Super Pumped, which is the Uber one starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt over at Apple TV. They did the WeWork one over at Showtime, the miniseries, and they did the Dropout, which is Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos. And I was curious if you guys would have any interest in watching those and talking about them on the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of them or just one?
We can start with one. We won't do them all at the same time, I promise. But maybe in a week or two, let's pick one now. We'll come back in a week. I believe... Oh, I have to check that all the episodes are out. We probably should wait until then. So why don't we... why don't you, after we're done, I'll do some research and we'll go back and forth in the Slack. But let's...
yeah, I don't have Showtime, but I'm down for the other ones.
Same.
I believe it's in... I have Paramount Plus because they scammed me into a subscription. And I think it's on there, so I can send you my password. No, what happened... I'm such an idiot. Here's the problem. They had a deal back when it was CBS All Access and before they transitioned it to Paramount Plus, where you can get a year of Paramount Plus for half price if you pre-buy. And it was like a really good price. So I'm like, I'm just going to pre-buy the year. Now, this was a year and a half ago. Well, guess what? They auto-renewed me, not for a month, but for a whole nother year at full price. So I have Paramount Plus for another year because I'm a total moron. So
nice.
We'll see about doing that, but that could be fun. So look forward to that coming up. Well, I have been watching The Dropout. It's excellent. I haven't seen the others, so we'll have to do that. Great. Well, anything else you guys have to share?
Not me.
We'll wrap it up here.
Nope, I'm good.
I will very quickly talk about Up for Debate. It's March Madness, and guys, I come on here and I sometimes say this week's episode was good, it was okay, it was great. No joke, this latest episode on the feed, the one we just recorded, maybe my favorite episode we've ever done. Certainly the one I've laughed the hardest in. And I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but Matt sent me a mystery box. It was full of something I was absolutely shocked at what it was. Then he threw like 2 more curveballs in the episode. And we genuinely... I could not believe the nonsense we were getting into. It really was a ton of fun. So I genuinely will say it is a good episode to listen to. And we're taping another one this week, and I have no idea what's in store. So March Madness is off to a hot start.
Nice. Got to cue that up.
Yes, please do over at upfordebate.tv or wherever you get podcasts. Our show is Don't Panic. Of course, go to the website. We'll have the links to the picks we didn't have, as well as the audio and the video of the episodes. And, of course, you can follow us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter, email us don'tpanicshow@gmail.com, and follow us, subscribe wherever you get podcasts. Check us out there. Look for that big red button with the video version on YouTube. Guys, we're wrapping it up here, but our march continues next week with more great tech news. On behalf of Dan and Colby, I'm Sean. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it as always. We'll see you next time for another great episode of Don't Panic.